Happy evening, all. I'm really happy to be a part of this wonderful forum. So, at this junction, I'd like to thank LK sir. We call him as sir. Yeah. So, he is the one who's responsible for many important things that is happening in our campus. A person who takes care of the transport part, a person who's a professor, and a person who really takes care of the students in NSS activities and in many good initiatives that is happening in KCA. So in that, I'm really happy to join hands with PLK sir in this wonderful forum and initiative. And I'd like to congratulate him for making many things happen constantly. There are colleges where we have many associations which says that which functions in many ways, but a very handful number of people normally they'll be into it out of heart, right? And they'll make things happen in a wonderful way. So in that way, he's doing a wonderful job. And at this juncture, I'd like to congratulate all the NSS volunteers because out of your self-interest only, you all have joined with the NSS and you're offering wonderful service to the human community. So my hearty wishes and blessings to all the NSS volunteers for the wonderful services that you are offering to the society with the support of your NSS coordinators and NSS faculty members. So I'm really happy to meet all the volunteers through this platform. So for the past, I think nearly 1 month, you have been joining for many events related to self-care, related to public care, related to hygienic aspects, related to environmental safety and many social aspects. So as part of it, today like sir has asked me to speak about conflict management because during this COVID period, many of us are having internal conflicts as well as external conflicts, right? So within us, we have got so many questions because this COVID pandemic is an entirely new experience for all together, isn't it? So with this experience, we all are sitting home, we are taking care of our health, we are taking care of our family, and we have been bothered about the society. We are praying for the wellness of all people in this universe. Same time, we are not leaving our routines. We are concentrating on our routines also. We focus more on our regular work schedules and we do all extra activities that to people like you all, right? The NSS members, you do so much of services, volunteering, and you develop your knowledge also in that area. So in that way, many of us, we are taking care of our personal duties as well as official duties also. If you are a student, you are into your continuous learning process, maybe online now, isn't it? So it is also a bit new to you. You need to have proper network, you need to have proper electronic gadgets and the relations between the teacher and you and whatever your organization or your educational institution sets. So you are taking care of that also. So all these things are a bit new to you. So in this situation, you have a feel within you as, is it okay for me? Is the situation is really going to be okay? And whatever I'm doing is right or not? That question is always there within us. Okay, that is one thing. And second thing is that around us, right? The family members all are sitting at home together. It's a new experience, isn't it? Papa normally goes out for his job and Mama rarely sits along with us to question us, and our siblings and sisters, rarely we sit together and discuss, our very minimum time we spend together. But now it is not so. We all are together inside the home for the entire time period. So many a times we come to know about each other's strengths and weaknesses only by now. So our expectations also been expressed fully now. So the frustration that is happening outside and internally may create some sort of issues within us. இல்லையா நம்ம எல்லாத்துக்குள்ளேயும் அந்த ஃபீல் இருக்குது. இவ்வளோ நாள் அம்மா அப்படி இல்லை இப்படி இருக்காங்க, இல்லை இத்தனை வேலை இருக்கா, இல்லை இது பண்ணுமா அது பண்ணுமா, யூ ஹவ் புட் so much of questions, right? So sometimes you like what to say, you found to or you tend to fight with people, quarrel with people, and you tend to develop a sort of conflict. So what exactly conflict is all about? Conflict na enna modalla adu nama pandroma illaya, so how is it happening? So that we need to understand first. So today what I'm going to tell you is about what is conflict and what is the difference between conflict and competition, right? There is a small difference between conflict and competition. So how it normally, you take the case of sibling fights, right? Normally whenever there is a sister and brother or brother and brother together, normally we used to be very competitive at home, isn't it? அவனுக்கு மட்டும் எல்லாமே தரீங்க, அவ்வளோ மட்டும் பெர்மிட் பண்ணுறீங்க, இவ்வளோ மட்டும் பண்ணுறீங்க அப்படின்னு நம்ம கேள்வி கேட்டுகிட்டே இருக்கோம் இல்லையா? ஸோ நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் அந்த இது இருக்க தானே செய்யுது. ஸோ அது வந்து ஒரு விதத்தில் என்ன சொல்லலாம், ஒரு சார்ட் ஆஃப் காம்படிஷன் சொல்லலாம் இல்லையா? எப்போவுமே அது சிப்ளிங்குள்ள அந்த காம்படிஷன் ஃபேமிலியில் we used to have. But when it goes a bit beyond, when we try to destroy or when you try to stop the growth of other person, or when you try to make it submissive, or when you try to suppress the other person's interest, thoughts, and growth, automatically what will happen? It will become conflict. நம்ம கூட இருக்கிற இன்னொருத்தருடைய எண்ணங்களையோ செயல்களையோ அதுக்கு மேலே நடக்க விடாமல் அது தப்புன்னு சொல்லி அதை முழுசாக அழுத்தி அதை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணணும், இல்லை அந்த சாப்டருக்கு ஒரு ஃபுல் ஸ்டாப் வைக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நினச்சி நம்ம ஒரு விஷயத்தை செய்ய ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டோம் அப்படின்னா that becomes conflict actually. Competition அப்படின்னா என்ன? We may compare, right? We'll tell what you're doing is not okay, what you're doing is not correct. You're alone is being given with maximum freedom, but I'm not so. I have my own problems. அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா? So when you tell like that, that becomes competition. Okay. So அப்போ conflict and competition என்ன? அதை எப்படி ஓவர் கம் பண்ண போகிறோம்? நம்ம பர்சனல் லைஃப்பில் கான்ஃப்ளிக்டில் என்ன மாதிரி டைப்ஸ் இருக்குது, that we'll see today. என்ன மாதிரி டைப்ஸ்னா what I mean to say is internally within me, do I have any conflict? With my family, do I have any conflict? Or with my friends or peer group, do I have conflict? When it will happen? How to overcome it? That alone we'll see. If it is possible for us to understand what exactly conflict is all about and what are the situations which takes us to conflict. In the rendu விஷயங்களை பத்தியும் if you are aware, if you are clear, automatically you will be conscious of it. You may tend to avoid in future. Okay, there are certain situations where you cannot even avoid. நம்மளால அந்த இடத்தை அவாய்ட் பண்ண முடியாது, அது எப்படியும் வரும். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி சுச்சுவேஷனில் how to manage it or how to balance it. So for that we call, in terms of behavioral science, we call it as resolution, conflict resolution. You have certain behavioral techniques that has been called as conflict resolution. Whenever there is a real conflict, there is a real problem, so you can choose any suitable method and cautiously implemented, automatically what will happen? You can overcome conflict and you can make it as a good relationship. So அது என்ன அப்படின்னு சொல்லி இன்னைக்கு பார்க்க போறோம். Let me start with my presentation. With that I will tell you how exactly. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's great. Okay. So before entering into the presentation, I would like to pose a question to the participants. Okay. So according to you, maybe you just tell me one or two situations where you really felt that yes, this is the conflict and I couldn't do, or I don't know whether it is conflict or not. Have you ever come across any situations like that? Any of?
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm Sheetal.
Yes, please.
I just want to tell a little bit example of that particular thing.
Yeah.
In some cases, a kind of conflict will happen. The thing is, while opening our own opinion. Because we always know that each and everyone have their own perception and their own kind of experience too. True. But sometimes in certain condition, if I'm telling certain kind of opinion is good, if we proceed this thing, things will be fine, means there will be some person who can't able to accept that.
Yeah.
Then there were the conflicts get started.
True. Exactly. What you tell or how you perceive and present may be perceived in a different way by others, right? That may be conflict. Exactly. That is interpersonal conflict. It happens. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Have any questions based on this, or you are just sharing it?
No. Actually, that is not. I'm not telling that that's bad, but some persons will listen to that and will come up with certain solutions.
True.
Most of the time, I'm telling, in a case of 95%, it will end up in a very bad conflict.
Exactly. True. Okay.
So in some cases, I don't know how to sort it up.
Okay, that's great. So today what we'll see is, like, I'll be teaching some conflict resolution techniques only. As we have limited time, I'm directly getting into the resolution techniques and I'll tell you with examples as how to overcome. Okay, so that's a good initiative, Sheetal. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Okay. So
thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. In general, participants, as Sheetal has mentioned, it is true. Many a times we tend to put a point in one way, but people may take it in the other way around, right? That may happen in our personal life or official life also. Official life in the sense, it may happen among your friends, your peers, your senior, junior, if you are a student, between your teacher, right? Every place it may happen. So how it happens is, that is there. So as the picture says, right? It is not that easy to collaborate with people and work with people. So as I've told you, what exactly conflict is, when the process or when one person perceives that the other person negatively affect you, are negatively is already affected or going to affect based on your interest is becoming conflict. Okay, as Sheetal has mentioned, when you do something out of your interest or with some positivity, the other person, if he or she takes it in such a way that it is a negative thing, it is going to affect them. With that, if they come back to you with a negative idea, there comes conflict. But conflict is not always bad, it is good also. Without conflict, you cannot get a solution, right? So conflict is good. So how conflict differs from competition? As I've told you, conflict wherein one party tries to prevent the success of other person, wherein you stop the other person, that becomes conflict. But competition is not so. Among siblings also, I've told you, right? You just interfere in others' activity, but you won't stop them from succeeding. Okay, the example I had given, conflict that happens between trade union and management, normally in working places, that is conflict. But in case of competition, companies, right, the advertisements that they show, price variations that they give on electronic gadgets and all, right, that's a good example for competition. So they'll never stop the other product, but automatically there will be a variation. They'll try to pull you towards their product, and we will also go for it. Sometimes we'll stick on to that, sometimes we will move on to it, right? So that may happen in personal life also. Say for example, in personal life, if you have your maybe your own classmate who is attending a good placement interview and he's preparing very well, but you are always like looking at him and teasing him, telling that no, you're always there sitting in front of your books, you're preparing very well, but I'm not so. If you pass such sarcastic comments constantly, that becomes competition only, that is not conflict. But like the movie Friends, right? In Tamil it had come as Nanban. In that movie you must have Three Idiots in Hindi, right? In that movie, you know, one bookworm is there. So what he does normally, before the examinations, he used to put all sort of like unwanted information in the rooms of all students. So automatically what happened? Other students, they'll just get into it, they'll get diverted and they lose it. That actually conflict of interest, right? So you have an interest towards something, you are ready, mentally you are preparing, but somebody else is disturbing you and deviating you from the actuals. So that becomes conflicts over there, right? So that is your conflict of interest. So traditionally how we think conflict is always bad. Conflict is a violence thing, it is always destructive and it is irritation. But actually, in terms of human relationship, in terms of behavioral aspects, conflict is taken as a positive thing. And conflict is inevitable. You cannot overcome conflict. It naturally happens because no two humans in this universe are unique, right? Even if your own dad and mom are there, they cannot think the same like you. And they cannot accept whatever you are telling to them is right or wrong, right? So they are different human beings and you are different human beings, and your ideas, your values, norms will be different. So you have to say yes or no. So it is a natural process, right? So always we need to encourage conflict. What for? So if you have conflict or difference of opinion only, you will think active. You will go self-critical, you will analyze your own. If your dad says whatever you're doing is wrong, if you're sitting with your mobile phone for more than like maybe till 9, 10, 30, 11, 11:30 in the night, if your dad is literally scolding you, there is a conflict of interest between your dad and you. Yes, you're not happy with that, but you will analyze, right? You will tend to think about it as why my dad is always scolding me, why he's not permitting me to do it. Okay, and along with it, if your mom is also telling, see, it will affect your health, because of that only you are unable to concentrate in the morning in your studies, you are unable to be comfortable, your eyes are red, so you are tired. So automatically what will happen? You will go self-critical. You will think, yes, in spite of all these things, I'm sitting and continuously playing my video game. That is not correct. And I'm spending more time on mobile. Let me reduce it or let me work on it. That mindset will come to you. So conflict is always good within an individual, between the groups or among the groups or in your work as well as your friends also. So accept conflict and take it positively. So conflict comes from these sources and all. Okay, external and internal sources. External sources are like whenever you have dependence with people or whenever you have fixed specification, I have to attain that. Maybe self. If you say that no, I have to get my placements in this company or I have to get this much of marks in this semester. But if you're not getting it, what will happen? You may have a feel that no, I'm not okay. Even though I've tried, I've done so much of things, I've not done it. So what exactly is wrong with me? You have an internal conflict, right? So you will start thinking as whatever you have done is right or wrong. You will try to reanalyze. So there will be a difference of opinion within you. It may happen within you or outside also. As I've told you the previous example of dad stopping you from using mobile phone. When there is a specification, when you say that it is not okay, that is an external factor that affects you. And interdependence, okay, whenever you are depending on, maybe you and your friend together, you are a good friends and you are sharing everything among both of you, but all of a sudden you are having a conflict. Why so? What may happen? Whenever there is a pooled interdependence, when both of you have decided that yes, we both will sit together for this preparation, all of a sudden your friend, without informing you, he sat separately and prepared something, and he has appeared for an examination or an aptitude test, or he has cleared some placement drive. What will happen? There will be a conflict, and sometimes it will be sequential. One more third friend is there, he's constantly calling you and telling you that your friend spoke to me, you both are good friends, no, but he's always speaking to me, why is it so? So constantly, if it happens, because of the other person who has informed you that your friend is getting closer to him, automatically what will happen? You will get irritated. You will think that, see, he's my friend, and why unnecessarily he's talking to the other person and talking about me to that person? You will have conflict over there. You won't even openly ask, but internally you will have a question. You will start avoiding your friend, or you may again yell at them, or you may stop helping them. That sort of things may happen. Sometimes it is reciprocal, right? I am giving you a call for 4 times, but you're calling me only 1 time per day. Why do I need to call? No, I won't call you. That may also happen, right? So since majority of you are in the student age group, I am putting all examples related to students. Okay, say for example, if the same thing applies to a workplace, right? Whenever the boss is always questioning, boss is not friendly, okay, he is always trying to fault find on subordinates. When the subordinate gets a chance to find fault with the boss, even after knowing that there is something wrong, instead of helping the boss, he will put the boss in problem. Why so? It is reciprocal. Okay, you're not supporting me, you're always putting me down, but I know that this time it's going to be your chance, but I don't want to help you. You also enjoy the same, whatever you had given to me. You will do that. So that is one way. And whenever your resources are common, it's a very good situation now. Almost all of us will be facing it, right? At home, you have only one laptop, you have only one mobile, or you have got only one desktop. What will happen? I have class at this time. Your brother or sister also has got class at that time. Maybe like us professors, we also have got classes and sessions. So we all will fight for the resources. Sometimes that may go as a conflict, right? If you're not clearly planning it, if you're not clearly explaining it, people will have a feel that no, my need is not being cared. My resources are being given to me, only you people are using. You will have a problem. And there is a goal difference. Again here, normally between parent and student it happens. You may have a goal of becoming a good artist, but your father and mother may have a goal of making you as a scientist. So surely you will never accept it. You may just join for an engineering course or some other course just because of the push of your parents. Even as a student counselor, I've listened to many students telling this. See, ma'am, I had a real wish of getting into this studies only, but because of my parents' pressure only, I've joined. So automatically what happens? Your performance, your interest, your involvement, everything goes down in it. So there will be an internal conflict within you to say that whatever I am doing is correct or not. Just because of my parents, I've joined it. That always will be there. And status inconsistencies, right? Sometimes, no, you have been, if it is home based, right, within your home, maybe your parents being a elderly child, they must have given you all rights, telling that whatever you're deciding is correct, whatever you're doing is correct. But all of a sudden, if your parent changes it to the junior most member of the family, telling that, see, he is the smallest one in the family, why can't you leave it for him? There will be confusion. Same thing if it happens in a class. A particular teacher or your tutor is giving all responsibilities to you and you are the boss over there, but all of a sudden you're not being given with anything, everything is withdrawn and somebody else is given with the responsibility. So what will happen? You will always create a conflict. That conflict may happen between you and the teacher, or between you and the person who is newly taking up the responsibility. You may try to put him down just to prove that you are good and the new person is not good, right? So that is status based. And the last one is based on legal. When the rules and regulations are not clear, people may do things of their own, and because of that conflict may arise. These are all external, which is not under your control. You have to, you have to be careful, be cautious, analyze, then decide. Okay, so how to decide, that will tell you now. Next is internal factors. Internal factors are within you as an individual. What is happening within me? So how can I overcome that? So do I really need to work on me? is this question. Okay, first thing, if your skills and abilities are really good, you're strong enough, you won't have any problem. Because of the skill sets that you have or the abilities that you have, there is a conflict. Say for example, your placements, right? So when all of you together, or 5 or 6 friends, you joined together, you did all group studies together, and you all have done all your aptitude examinations, everything proper, your projects, everything, but only 2 of them got selected and rest of you didn't get selected because of a reason just that you didn't speak good English. But the other 2 friends who got selected, even though they worked along with you, you all have trained up together, just because of the personal smartness or their language, they got selected in the interview. So you may develop a conflict, but you're not supposed to. Instead, you focus on your skills and abilities, you can overcome. Next thing is personalities, right? Each person have got their own uniqueness, right? Their own values, their own culture, their own competencies, their own strengths and weaknesses. So that also creates conflicts. Try to understand. And next is values and ethics. Values is based on the beliefs that you have, what beliefs your family had given you, your religion has given you, your culture has given you. So how do you take it? How do you respect people? How do you understand people? How do you help people? That is your values. And ethics, whatever you do you really follow an ethics? Does your activity doesn't affect the other person, doesn't harm the other person? Check that. So if there is a misunderstanding in it, automatically there are chances for conflict. And next is your emotions. Regarding emotions, I would say, like, normally emotion is your relationship between your behavior and long-term activities that is normally happening within you. That is your emotion. Okay, the way you respond or you react to a stimuli that is being given to you, right? The way in which you take, and how far the intensity of it and the impact of it, both are more important here. So whenever people have got clear emotional intelligence, or whenever people have got a balanced mindset, they will always be able to overcome conflict. Whenever your mood and mindset is constantly changing, and if you cannot balance it properly, automatically you will tend to end up in conflict. So be cautious about your emotional outbursts also. Okay, so I had given few maybe the sessions based on emotions and stress management. If you go through that, you can have a better idea of it, as how to balance your emotions and how to manage your stress also based on emotions, your depression and stress also. Okay, so that is one way. Next is communication, that we all know very well, isn't it? Maybe a common language. Just now, like, I've started interacting in Tamil also in between, because normally I thought, like, when people are in from a local area, if I could speak in their mother tongue, they'll be much more comfortable, and it brings a sort of attachment. With that, I've started. But when I understood that many people are from other places based on your names, I've changed it, right? So English is a common platform for all of us, so we can easily understand it, right? So otherwise, what will happen if I continuously speak in Tamil, and if majority of you cannot understand Tamil, what will happen? You will create a conflict, and you may end up telling that this organizer has done not a good job, right? He has identified a person who can't even speak in English. She's speaking in some other language which we cannot understand, and we wasted our time. So next time when the resource person or when the organizer sends an invitation to you, say, at that time your mind will think, okay, last time we had such a session, this time also may happen, so let me not attend this session. You will stop it. Or else you will tend to tell other person that, what here, that person has arranged a session, but unfortunately that fellow is talking in some other language and no one has understood it. So they'll be like that only. We'll tell it. That is again a conflict. So after listening to you, your friend who had an intention to attend the session may also stop. Isn't it? That is what your perception, how you take it and how you express it to others. So the communication also will be a chance for conflict. And cultural differences, that normally happens when you go for workplace, even in college also, when you join for the first year. At that time, you may have people from different cultures, different places. Their ideas, their foods, their dressing, their behavior, everything varies. So initially, first 1 or 2 months, you may not be able to adjust them at all. The reason is like you must have had your own method, but when somebody else is from a different methodology or from a different lifestyle, it may take time for you to accept that too. People who are in hostel, no, it will be really pathetic for them initially. But whomever has the open-mindedness to accept all and to take all, automatically they'll really enjoy it. There won't be any conflict at all. Or initially, even if you had conflict, but if you have expressed it to the other person, they must have chosen any one method of conflict resolution, and by now, third year or final year, they'll be the thickest friends forever. They'll support each other in a wonderful way. So that normally happens. It is not only in college, even in schools, even in workplace. Initially when you join, it may happen, but when you come to a common understanding, you will become grown, right? So these are all the normal factors which creates conflicts. The reason why I gave these is just to have an awareness. Okay, whenever you feel that yes, there is a misunderstanding which really puts me down, or there is a misunderstanding with the other person which really stops me from achieving, you check from where it has happened, whether it is because of the external or because of your own internal. If you identify the difference, done, you can very well go for your conflict resolution. So these are all the types. I'm not getting into much. Okay, intrapersonal, between within, if happens to you, that is intra. Interpersonal is between two or more people there is a conflict. Intergroup, it happens. Interorganizational, there are so many methods, so let us not talk about all those things. We'll directly get into the process of conflict and the conflict, how to deal with conflict. Okay, so first you need to understand how conflict arises, or how you can understand, because so far I have been talking about conflict, but you may be having a question, what is this here, ma'am is telling, but I'm having something like this, but is it really conflict or not? That will be the question within you, right? So I have the answer here. Normally conflict happens with 4 stages. Only when it comes out, you will understand, yes, there is a conflict. Otherwise you may not be understanding. Many a times you must have heard from your friends telling that, see, you have hurted me that much, that is the reason I have been kept myself away from you. After so much of period, they must have said you, during farewell only they'll tell, see, because of this incident I have got that much hurt, that is the reason that made me to keep myself away from. And that day you must have thought, hey, what is this here? This is a very simple thing. You must have told me at that time itself. I have not done it intentionally. I thought, or I did it with a very basic sense only here. Why it has gone this much? You may have such questions. That is, whenever it is being expressed only, many a times we'll understand. Or whenever there is an impact only, we'll understand. So now I'm going to tell you from where to where conflict goes and how can you identify it, that I'm telling you now. Okay. First one is your conditions. Maybe we call it a stimuli. Something that normally makes or triggers conflict is the first stage. There will be some potential opposition for anything that you do. If you are telling something, somebody is opposing, that is the first stage. Initially you will have, see, I'm telling something, he's not listening. That is the first stage. Or if you are trying to do something, someone else is telling, no yaar, don't do that, you stop it. That is the first stage. So your antecedent conditions are communication, structure and personal variables. Communication is, it's been expressed. You stop it, don't do it, and it is not correct, it is not necessary. It comes in that way. Second thing is, you will have an organizational structure or a fixed structure which automatically stops you from communicating to people or from taking it forward. And third one is your personal variables. Okay, if an opportunity is given to you to do a presentation in front of all, but you have that much of stage fear, you are unable to do, and you are not expressing, and simply you say, no, I don't want to do the presentation, you stop. But instead of you, your friend who's sitting along with you, who's not been offered it, but he's grabbing it, telling that, yes, I'll give it a try, I'll do the presentation. What happens? You will have a feel that, yeah, see, I'm telling that I cannot do, but this fellow is voluntarily telling that he will do. So till that situation, you both were good friends. But as soon as you listen to this conversation, what happens? You try to create a sort of competition within you. He is becoming my competition, where I am unable to do because of my poor language or because of my stage fear, but my friend is ready to do what I am not ready to do, right? So you will create the first stage. That becomes more or less competition or a initiation, and opposition will be there. It goes to the second stage when your cognition and personalization internally, based on your internal thinking or based on your ego states, if you perceive it, the other person, what he is doing is not correct, or you express it to the other person and you take it as a personal thing, it is done to me, it is because of me, it is for me, like that, automatically that you perceive it or you feel it. How you feel it? It is on two ways. Okay, one thing is that you yourself think that, okay, things are not okay, things are changing, he is changing, she is changing, like that. Second thing is, you could feel it. How you could feel it? The other person will actually do it. Maybe they'll stop communicating you. they'll stop talking to you, they'll avoid you, they'll hide your presence, and they'll neglect you. That sort of things is becoming your felt, wherein you could feel it, yes, something is really not okay, right? That is the second stage. And third stage is openly being expressed, overt conflict. Overt conflict is the actual behavior directly on your face. People will tell, yes, you are like this, I'm not okay, I don't want to continue with you, whatever you want you do, like that they will close it. That is overt conflict. So with that, what outcomes will happen? Either there will be increased performance or there will be decreased performance. How it becomes increased performance? If you take it in a positive way, telling that, okay, he or she is neglecting me, or he or she is stopping all sort of communication from me, let me leave it as such, I'll prove it in my own way, I've got my own method. From that day, if you start focusing more on your personal or external things, your performance will go tremendously positive. Or else, if you get dejected, if you really feel hurt, many relationship, your personal affairs, in that it happens in a negative way. You take it like, no, that female has rejected me, that female is not talking to me, or that male is not responding to me, that's it, my life is gone, nothing is there to me. So automatically I lose everything, I'll go down. Instead, okay, if they doesn't want me, they don't deserve to be in my life, and they're not okay to receive my love and affection, put them, that's it, and you have wonderful life ahead. Think about it, concentrate more, focus more on your self development, personal development, professional development. There will be an increased performance. Okay, so in overt conflict itself, you have conflict handling techniques. Whenever you feel or whenever people are expressing you that there is conflict, excuse me, so you can, that is the right stage where you can take suitable methods and techniques to correct conflict. So what are all the methods? I had given 5 methods that I'll tell you in detail in the next slide. Yes. Here is the method. Okay, whenever you could feel it or whenever you could perceive or understand it, yes, the other person is having some conflict with me, as the first person has asked, what am I supposed to do, how can I overcome it? You have got 5 types of techniques. So on what basis these techniques are being designed? One side, you just take the degree of cooperativeness between you and the opposite party. That may be an individual, that may be a group of people, that may be a team, or it is within you, your mind and heart. That may also be there. Okay, how far you can cooperate, that is first level. Second is, the other axis I have taken, degree of assertiveness. What do you mean by assertiveness? How far you are self-oriented. For me, for my sake, for my development, for mine, like that, how far the importance is being given to a self or individual. Based on these 2 aspects, you can design certain conflict management styles. So here at the bottom, when both are low, you are not ready to cooperate and you doesn't have any self aspect at all. You never bother. If it is coming, it's okay. If it is not coming, I'm leaving it. You have that casual mindset. In that case, what will happen? Literally, you will avoid that person, or you will avoid the situation, or you will withdraw from that relationship. Okay, you will say that no, it will never work out for me, or I'm leaving it. I don't want to listen anything. I don't want to express anything. And both of you will come out of the relationship. That may happen between friends. That may happen between people in relationship. That may happen between father and mother. That may happen between family members or subordinates, whomever it might be. If both of you are not ready to cooperate and the individual who feels it doesn't have a self confidence or self-esteem also, self-respect also, you will end up here. The other end, both high, where your cooperativeness is very high, but you never bother about yourself. Your self-focus is not at all there. What will happen? You will accommodate or you smooth. What is accommodating? You accept it. Ama, yes, yeah. Problem is because of me only. Okay, we'll leave it. Now onwards, we'll forget everything. Whatever you say, I'm accepting. Or whatever I'm saying, you accept. We'll go as per that. Wherein one party alone wins, the other party loses. But this decision is not always correct. It may happen when it goes to higher official, just because of the reason that it is a power play or politics, organizational level. You cannot fight with the other person. If you fight also, you will lose, and you don't want to lose. You need to be in the job and you need to be in the relationship for the time being. You are doing it. Just blindfoldedly, you accept the person. You tell them, okay, yeah, whatever you're telling is correct. I'm accepting, and you surrender yourself. That is accommodating. But in case of accommodating, what will happen is temporarily you may feel good, you may feel comfortable, you may feel happy, but in the long run your ego may not get satisfied. You will have a pricking sense inside. At when you get a chance to prove that you are correct, on that day that relationship will get a full stop. So that is also not fair always. Okay. And bottom right, okay, bottom right, wherein your assertiveness is very high but cooperativeness is not okay, right? So in that case what happens, you are highly focused oriented towards you, towards self. You are not ready to cooperate with the other party. You never bother about the other party. You will go to this decision. What is that? Competitiveness or authoritativeness. You will try to take literally as a competition, or you try to be more authoritative, forcing the other person to accept whatever you are telling is correct. You will try to prove that whatever you are telling is correct and the other person has to accept it. So it is just opposite of the top. Just always forcing and dominating. The other accommodating is surrendering. It is just opposite of surrendering, dominating and like forcing the other person and pushing them down and proving your dominance or authoritativeness. Here also in personal life many a times it happens. For between adult children and parent also it happens. Whenever the father is highly authoritative, he is not at all listening to your words. What happens? You will always take it like, see, this fellow is always like this. I'll listen. That's it. With that, you will close. And you will stop communicating everything with the father, with the parent. At that time, your mother become the mediator and she will tell like whatever your needs to your father and whatever your father wants to say to you, it will come through her as a mediator. If it is a boss or subordinate relationship, yes, there also will be conflict. So, how to overcome it? So, these three things are not always okay. So, how to overcome it is two answers. Your middle one, compromise. Top one, collaborative or problem solving. These two are the best methods in conflict to overcome. Okay, I'm not telling that the other methods are not okay. As I've told you, based on the situation, you will do it just for a time being solution. But if you want a permanent solution, or if you really want to make it positive, your relationships to be successful, these two are the best methods. So first one is compromise. What is compromising? It is medium, wherein you have your own self-respect also. You won't put yourself down and you are ready to cooperate with the other person for the benefit of both. That is compromising. So what you will do, you will bargain for gains and losses with each other. You will tell, okay, I'm ready to accept provided this is one. The same example of mobile I'm telling you. If your parent are telling that before after 10 you're not supposed to do, but you say that no, from 10 to 11 only I have a special discussion, or I have time to work on my GATE examination or CAT examination or for my placement classes. You just tell to your parent that okay, daily I won't sit, weekly 3 days I will sit. Same time I'll compromise it by sleeping a bit extra in the morning so that my health won't get disturbed. You talk to them frankly, you get a solution, convince them, then continue with your solution. That becomes compromise, wherein you won't lose, the other person also won't lose. There will be mutual understanding and you both will accept and you both will do that. That is one method. But the best method of conflict management is collaboration or problem solving. In this, what you will do is you will try to identify a solution which satisfies both of you. In this, the first aspect is openly talking to people. Just go talk to them, tell them without giving. Here both are high. Your readiness for cooperation is also very high and your self-respect and self-esteem is also high. Without giving up your basic self-respect, but with due respect to the other person, you openly talk to them, make them understand what is your intention and how they perceived it, but how you have presented it and how the conflict of interest has happened. Clearly explain them. If at all, if anything wrong, explain them and make them understand and convince them. And with that convincing, if possible, both of you will come to a better understanding and your misperceptions can be reduced or can be sorted out fully. So you both will be open-minded and both of you can sit together and go for a new collaboration or problem solving. So that is the best method of resolving a conflict. Two methods are best, that is one is compromise and the other one is collaboration. Compromises, both you will have, one will win and the other will lose, the other will win. It will be like 50-50. Both of you will adjust, will accept, will continue. But that could be escalated to the problem solving or collaboration method. Okay, weekly 5 days instead of me calling, Monday and Friday you should call. In between days I will call. And these are all the time wherein I will be studying, you should not disturb me. And these are all the timing I will sit in front of TV, you should not disturb me. And this is the reason why I'm sitting in front of TV. This is the reason why I'm talking to my friend. This is the reason I tell to the third friend instead of you directly. If I talk to you directly, you may get hurt. So that is the reason I'm telling to the third friend. This is the situation why it has happened. Like that, if you could really explain to people and make them understand your answer, and both of you can make it together, that becomes your collaboration and problem solving. And I'm sure with these methodologies you would be able to manage your conflict in a better way, so that your conflict management process and your relationship will always be good and perfect, right? So yeah, normally the outcomes of conflicts will be this based on the methods I'm telling, right? So if both of you are not okay, you literally accommodate or adjust, there will be loss only to both the parties. Or if you try to dominate, only competition will exist. Or else you will, in compromise, what happens? Conflict gives up, and finally what will happen is you may try to give up some of your values you really respect, or some of the good things that you really respect, right? That is your compromise. Win and losses, one party you accept it, the other party will lose it. That is also not okay. Your collaborative and win-win is the best solution, wherein both of you will get good answers, both of you will go for the benefit of each other. So these are all the outcomes normally comes with the conflict resolution techniques. So I hope this is, with this your conflict part is done, and okay with this. Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, participants, if you have any doubt, you can raise your questions. Madam, thank you, madam. Thank you for sharing your valuable ideas and suggestions, madam, with related to conflict management.
Yes. Sir.
Actually, I thank you personally for taking more than the allotted time. It should come
I'm sorry for that.
based on the interest. Okay.
Yeah.
Once again, I thank Dr. Vanitha, madam, for sharing her knowledge with us and spending her time with us. Actually, she was traveling when this session was about to start, but
Yeah,
within
sorry for that.
a couple of seconds, she could be able to join in this meeting. It shows her interest and commitment towards the event.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for that.
I thank you all for participating in this event.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Thank
once.
you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful opportunity. And I've seen like the feedbacks of few people, they all have mentioned it like they have learned something new.
Yes.
I'm really happy about it. If at all, if they could use it positively in their life and make it more effective, no, I'll be very happy. And I thank all the participants and the coordinator of the event. Thank you.